guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to another exciting, very special edition of Rhyme Signatures. Today, we're banning the English language. That's it. It's gone. Kaput. Finito. Finale. Gone forever. Vanished into the ether, and probably for the best. Yeah, today I want to take a little time to talk about what I feel are some of my personal favourite albums where English is basically gone, you know? No English at all, or at least very minimal English where possible, and the majority of the albums are sung in the native language of the band. So I got to thinking there's a hell of a lot of albums that fit this criteria, so I've not thought too hard about this. I've mostly just gone off the top of my head with the ones that I've been vibing a lot lately, or of course some absolute classics. Like I say though, I'm not really ranking these. This isn't a definitive article or anything like that. This is just how I'm feeling at the moment as to what 10 of my current favourite foreign language albums are. So without any further ado, let's dive straight into it and get things rolling in alphabetical order. Right, first up, it's Alcest with Les Voyages de l'âme, which I believe means the voyage of the soul, or the travels or journeys of the soul. Something about the soul. It's French. Let's go with that. Brilliant record. This is where I got my entry in with Alcest, the sort of pioneering black gaze band fronted by the enigmatic gentleman known only as Neige. Fantastic record, fantastic band. There is something so incredibly haunting about this. It's beautiful, it's ethereal, it's spacey, it's dark and depressing, but also terrifyingly beautiful as well. Now, I don't necessarily think I'd call this Alcest's best album, no, but it's where I got my start with the band, and obviously I've got a little bit of nostalgia for it as a result. Great record if you've never listened to the band before. It got me into them, might get you into them. If you like something really dark and swirling, but with that real ethereal beauty kind of tinged around the edges of it, then this is a great place to go. Right, next up we've got Duron Grey and Ouroboros, or Ouroboros. The snake eating its own tail thing, I never know how to pronounce it. It's that one. Yeah, the only Japanese entry on the list. I don't normally vibe with J-Rock, I'm not going to lie to you. It's just something, I don't know, it just doesn't click with me. Something goes on in my brain when I hear J-Rock, and I don't know, I just push it away. Maybe it's because I associate it too much with anime, and I'm not really much of a big fan of anime, like, at all. But, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Duron Grey, a band who, I don't have a great deal of knowledge of Duron Grey. They're kind of just there for me. You know, I know they've got quite a storied career, they've got plenty of albums out, but I've only really ever listened to Ouroboros, and it's really, really good. It's absurdly good. This feels like the definitive classic for the band. There is nothing else that they've got quite like this. There's albums that they've got which kind of, I don't know, they kind of don't really gel for me at all, but Ouroboros is one of those where every element stacks up perfectly. Every single component part of the record is perfect, and it is an absolute classic of the kind of progressive death metal-y sort of thingy avant-garde genre. Really hard to pinpoint exactly what you want to call this album. If you've never heard it, do give it a spin. The sort of King Crimson-inspired classic-looking cover is really kind of fun. I like that a lot. But the music inside this is absolutely spectacular. Do check this one out. Okay, recent entry, actually reviewed this year, Ethmebb with Allo Babar et les Caramboleurs. Another French entry so far, we're two up for the French so far, which is a very good sign for them. Great record this. Obviously, there's nothing I can say here that I haven't really already covered in the full review, so if you want to check that out, you can do. But I will say this now, this record's nuts. It's so weird. It's so weird. But I love it for how weird it is. Never have I heard anything this year quite so unusual as this. It just flawlessly and fearlessly jumps around all over the place. You never know what it's going to do next. And obviously that's half the fun of this album. It's proggy as all hell. It's absolutely the most adventurous thing I've listened to this year. I'm still jamming it. I'm still loving it. Still likely to feature pretty high up in the year-end list. And it's French. Go on the French. Allez France and all that sort of thing, you know. Great fun. Really, really good. Not a hint of English. Extremely silly. Extremely funny. Especially if you do speak a bit of French like I do and you start to understand some of the jokes and puns in the lyrics. Really, really good. Do check this one out. Okay, so next up, I'm going to get the pronunciation completely wrong, so bear with me here because I don't speak a word of Vietnamese. It's Hac San with Hon Trang Mao. It's probably completely wrong, I don't even know. Really great record, this one. Absolutely under the radar for most people. They've got like 600 and something listeners on Spotify, I think it is. So like properly underground stuff here. Vietnamese band, incredible stuff. They haven't put anything out since this record came out. It's like a single track album. So it's about 5 years ago now, I think this came out. Absolutely brilliant. Imagine, right, if Dream Theater carried on doing what they were doing in the sort of Awake / Images and Words kind of era when Kevin Moore was still on board. It's got that kind of old school 90s progressive metal vibe to it. Even in the production, which admittedly is definitely the weakest part of the album, you really feel that old school shining through on this. But it's so well composed, it's so catchy, it's so interesting from start to finish that you will absolutely forgive any of the production woes you might have with this one. Fascinating little record. I will never stop harping on about this one. I will sing its praises to the roof every time I get the opportunity to do so. And this was the first record I put on the list when I was coming up with the shortlist for this. So I would say, if you're only ever going to listen to one of the albums off this video, do please go and check out Hac San. It's such a hidden gem. I can't bear for it to be buried any longer. Okay, Angry Norwegian incoming with Kvelertak and their self-titled debut album. You know, you ever want music to just like destroy things too? Like just throw yourself around and just like drink some mead and just break things? Then Kvelertak's got you covered. They're pretty good for that. Yeah, this band kind of came out of nowhere almost, and they've got that sort of Baroness vibe to them because of the cover arts being by the same guy who did like loads of the Baroness ones. So at first I thought it literally was a Baroness side project, which wouldn't have been a bad thing because I love Baroness. They're pretty great. Now, I don't feel they've ever really managed to grab my attention in the same way that they ever did with this debut, but this is such a strong outing that it's impossible to not recommend. Possibly one of the most angry things I've ever listened to. The Norwegian language comes through beautifully on here, and it's just an endless amount of fun. If you just want to drink beer and trash a hotel room, stick this record on and just go nuts. Just go nuts. And proving that Norway is a country of two sides, we have Lars Fredrik Froislie with Firefortellinger, which again I reviewed back in 2023 and gave a pretty gosh darn good review to, if memory serves correctly. This is a superb example of how you can take inspiration from the past greats of progressive rock and kind of bring it into the 21st century kicking and screaming. No, this isn't reinventing any wheels. It does feel very much like it is built of the DNA of Wobbler, which is obviously where Lars Fredrik Froislie is from, being the keyboardist for that band. But he does have very much his own DNA embedded in this solo project. It's a lot of fun, it's very engaging, it's very atmospheric. It's just a really solid record from start to finish. Now, I haven't got around to reviewing the new one yet. I've given it a couple of listens, but I'll be honest with you, it's not quite grabbed me in the same way that Firefortellinger has done. So, who knows? Maybe I'll get around to talking about the new one in a roundup video at some point. Until then, though, if you are still jonesing for the past and you love that progressive rock sound, please do check out Firefortellinger. It's very, very good. You know, it wasn't even that long ago that I spoke about these guys because they were kind of in my awful album art for great albums video, and, you know, I'll still stand by that. But any opportunity to talk about Moore again is an opportunity well spent. These guys came in at number 2, if memory serves correctly, on my top albums of 2024 list, and I stand by that. This is such an extraordinary debut, I cannot even begin to tell you. Icelandic through and through, the album works incredibly well. It's got these huge moments of atmospheric build-up and payoff, the stark, angry, angular vocals just pierce through the veil of darkness that the music surrounds it in. It's such a good record. Everything about this I love. It is 100% my kind of music. If you were to like basically distill my musical taste into a essence and sort of print it on a piece of paper, you'd probably just get a picture of the album cover of this and be just like, hey, it's Moore. I freaking love these guys. I will be watching them with great anticipation for whatever comes next from them, but until anything does come out, you know, as a sequel to whatever they've just put out, do go and check this one out. It's an extraordinary album, just, you know, with the album art. Yeah.
Descalço barulho era zero. Homem, morada de santo, eles iam matar.
Right, next up from Brazil, it's Papangu with Lampião Rei. I have recently done a little bit of a promotional video for these guys because they're going on tour in the UK and Europe in like a month or so's time, I think it is. Like August, September, I think it is. Whatever it is, they're going to be performing like this entire album, and it's absolutely killer. I love this record. I absolutely love this. This again featured reasonably high in my year-end list, I think it was last year, and it's just such a good time. It's so weird, it's so unusual, and I absolutely love that for it. It's got all these elements of traditional Brazilian instrumentation and folklore sat behind the lyrics, and it all sort of comes together in this melting pot of weird, discordant, avant-garde strangeness. It's bloody brilliant. I love this one so much. I'm extremely excited to see what happens next. I know they are working on new material, which they will be debuting on this tour. So if you do get the opportunity to see these guys live, please do go check them out. But until then, Lampião Rei exists, and it's waiting for you to go and listen to its unique strangeness. Right, next up, huge fan of this one. We're going back to Iceland with Solstafir and Otta. Again, probably pronounced that completely incorrectly. The very few Icelandic people that I do know will be no doubt correcting me at some point in the future. This record is as bleak and depressing as the album cover suggests, which is to say it's very bleak and very depressing, but in a really good way. This is just darkness. It is pure, concentrated, filthy, misty, absolutely crushing darkness. It's so good. This is not an album to listen to if you want cheering up, though, mind you, of course. I mean, just take a look at the damn album cover, for crying out loud. But there is a real sense of exploration going on in the music here. The vocals are mournful. They're absolutely full of this kind of longing and pain, which really can't be described with words. You just have to listen to it. So get yourself a good pair of headphones, strap yourself in, and just let the absolute misery of this record sweep over you. I think it's wonderful. And finally on the list, it's Thy Catafalque from Hungary with Meta. Now, again, I could have picked a whole bunch of different possible albums for this one. I've reviewed Thy Catafalque twice now on the channel, their most recent one of 12 and the one that came before that as well. And I love both of them. I absolutely love both of them because, frankly, Thy Catafalque, from what I can see so far of my experience with them, can do very little in terms of putting a foot wrong. Everything is really experimental. They never seem to sit still. They're always trying something different, trying something new, pushing the boundaries as to what you can expect from avant-garde strangeness. And in a lot of ways, Meta feels like it is the band's definitive statement. This is Thy Catafalque, if you will. It contains a little bit of everything they've tried up until that point, and they push the boundaries just a little bit further. It's extreme metal in some places, electronica in others, full of haunting, dark, scary vocals one time, and then beautiful, crooning female vocals another. It's got a little bit of what you fancy all over the place. I love this album. I think it is superb. It is a masterpiece. If you've never heard it before, start your journey on Thy Catafalque with this one, because it will not disappoint you. So there we go. Fairly quick video today, as I say. Just wanted to get this out there because it's been scratching an itch at the back of my brain ever since it was suggested to me by some subscribers, and I just wanted to sort of put this out there. So those are 10 of my favourite non-English speaking albums. I've definitely missed a few, but I'd love to know what yours are. So please drop a comment down below, tell me what your favourite non-English album is. If you did make it this far into the video, guys, thank you so very much indeed for watching, but until next time, keep your rhyme signatures pretty odd.